Well, how about a happier story then? One I've never heard, stuff like that, because I've heard about when you met PopPop,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard about going to Japan. When did he propose? Did he propose?
A lot of times. And when didn't he? Well, finally, when I said I would,
After he was trying to get back in your good graces.
months, and I knew I loved him, but that's a big step to take, and it only once in a lifetime for me, I thought, and
Once in his lifetime.
huh?
Once in his lifetime.
That's right, because that's where my heart is. But I feel a little bit guilty, but I think he would have appreciated Don, and he would have appreciated, because it got me out of a shell, and he would have, and I walked away from that because of his drinking too much. But I understand now he was in pain. He had cancer of the brain, and he had hurt himself skiing, fell and hit his head on a rock, and he had had other problems, and he knew he could bring me nothing but unhappiness. And he mentioned that, I think told Edith something like that.
But back to
But
PopPop.
anyway,
But back to PopPop.
yeah. But then with Bob, I married him to take so no other people wouldn't hurt him, because he was so kind, so sweet, so gentle, till people would take advantage of him. But you get, to your PopPop. Finally he said, honey, he said, I've got orders. I have to go to Fort Benning. I'm moving to Fort Benning. I don't know when I could ever come back, or when I could see you. He said, I want to marry you. Please, will you marry me now? And so we can go, and I can make the move, and I won't lose you. And I said, well, I will, on conditions that you understand. And I told him what I would do if he ever did any of those things. So that was it. So, but when we spent the first night at the Henry Grady Hotel after marriage. We called. I couldn't find anybody. Everybody was in the family.
No, I mean, what was the hotel?
The Henry Grady.
Henry Grady, okay.
And one of our better hotels, and extremely better. That and the I forget what the other one was.
Biltmore?
The Biltmore, the Henry Grady, and there was one other. I can't think of. Anyway. What was I going to tell you now? Let's see. We couldn't reach any member of my family. So I said, we can go to Marietta and get the license and get married in Marietta. And we can ride the streetcar up there to save money. It'll take about 45 minutes, I guess, on the streetcar. 30, 45 minutes. He said, you're crazy if you think I'm going to go get married on a streetcar. So we called a cab, and we went to the license office. We got our license and went to a pastor that had been somebody recommended, and turned out to be a family member. And he didn't know it, and I didn't know it at the time. But he was like a cousin or something. So, but I didn't know it at the time. But anyway, all the way up there, the cab driver, cab driver, said, "Oh, Lieutenant, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Oh, take my advice. Turn around and go back. You don't want to do this. You're ruining your life."
Very serious cab driver.
Yeah. So then that night we stayed at the Henry Grady Hotel. And the next night we stayed at my sister's and brother-in-laws, Mary's, Hotshot's mother and stepfather who raised him. It was his father, but not his biological father. And he adored Hotshot. Anyway, we stayed there, and then we caught. Then he had about a few days off, so we went to Asheville. We called his mother and told her, and she was so nice on the telephone. Getting out the shears, you know, and the sharpening of the knife, and we flew up there, and she met us, and he said, "Mother, this is Eunice. This is my Eunice." And she said, "Jule, how could you do this to me? How could you do? You promised me you wouldn't marry until you were 30 years old. How could you do this?" He took me, turned from her. He took me, and by that time we were out on the sidewalk going to the car. He took me. He said, "Eunice, that's my mother, and I love her. You're my wife, and you're my life. You say the word, and we'll get back on a plane, and we'll leave right now. You don't have to take this." I said, "Jude, I understand why she's saying this. She doesn't know me," and Mother's listening. I said, "She doesn't know me, and I don't know her. I love you, you love me, and that's all that matters. But I want to know your mother, and I want her to know me. So I don't want to get on the plane and go back.